Hi, welcome to the web congregation. I'm Austin Zoot. This is our very first week discussing a Torah portion, so I'm excited to get started. We're also celebrating Simchas Torah, which is the Jewish holiday that commemorates the ending of the Torah and also the beginning of the reading again. We read the very last paragraph of the Torah, which talks about Moses going up the mountain and passing away, and the community mourning for Moses, and then going ahead and getting their act together as they're about to enter the Promised Land. We finish with this paragraph that talks about Moses being the greatest prophet that Judaism has ever known, that we as a people have ever known. And then we finish, and we roll the Torah all the way back. We roll and we roll and we roll the scroll all the way back to the beginning, and we start again. Now, most times I've ever seen this done, we'll read a little bit of Bereshit, which is the very first Torah portion, and we'll get a sense for the very beginning of God creating the heavens and the earth. And then we'll stop, and we'll dance around with the Torah, and we'll eat apples and caramel, and it'll be a great time. But we don't actually read the entire Torah portion of Bereshit, which actually covers the entire beginning of the creation of the world, all the way through to Adam and Eve, including the eating of the forbidden fruit, the eviction from the Garden of Eden, and all the way to Cain and Abel. And then a little bit of brief history about how we get from the Garden of Eden until finally we get this little introduction to a man named Noah, which is the Torah portion for next week. Now that's a lot of information that we may or may not talk about all the time, but we know those stories, but we don't necessarily know that they go hand in hand with the reading that finishes the Torah and all the way through to the beginning. Now, I was asking the question as I was reading, why is it that we read just such a short paragraph about the end of the Torah portion, but we read such a vast chapter at the beginning of the Torah? And to some extent, there isn't a clear answer, but the answer I have for us is we have the opportunity, as we're about to close the Torah, we have the chance to look forward. We're about to enter the Promised Land. We're about to reach that moment that we've been talking about for so much of the text. And yet before we do that, we take this moment to start again. We go back to the beginning, and we go back to this beautiful Garden of Eden. The Promised Land is the greatest thing the Israelites could possibly imagine. And yet we're reminded by reading the Torah that there is something better. There's a more beautiful place. There's an even better place that we've already been, but that we're always striving to get back to. That's where we remember Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. We're always trying to get back to that perfection of the Garden of Eden, and despite the fact that we're about to enter the Promised Land, which is the greatest thing we can even imagine, there's something even better than that. So we're taught to look for the opportunities for better, to look for the ways that the world can even be better than what we're about to get. And we're taught by the reading of Torah that when we finish, there's always time to go back and start again and be reminded of the beauty that came before. So that's a little bit about what I've gotten out of this Torah portion. I'd love to hear what you got out of it. Go ahead and comment down at the bottom here. You can also click subscribe, which will get you the Zoot Perspective web congregation emailed to you every time I post. So make sure you stick around and stay connected. Thanks, and Shabbat Shalom.